I'm Allison.
Standing in the cold evening of March, I'm at the loading dock of my warehouse, watching the tenants team package custom furniture for shipment. The space is filled with the hum of productivity, a stark contrast to the chaos that unfolded months ago. It all started at a Sunday dinner. The champagne flutes sparkled around the table, but the roast on my plate remained untouched. My sister, Lily, stood at the head, showing photos of an auction catalog on her phone. It was my warehouse, a property I'd bought 8 years ago with savings from my double shift work at a shipping company. Lily was excited, talking about the intense bidding. It started at $2. $1 million, and 3 big developers were vying for it. The winner was a well-known construction company downtown. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, were overjoyed. Dad, a strict but sometimes short-sighted man, beamed with pride, saying Lily had always been a business genius and that the warehouse was just sitting empty. I tried to tell them the warehouse wasn't empty, but Lily waved it off, insisting that a few old pallets in storage boxes were a waste of property value. She planned to split the proceeds, $850,000 for my parents' mortgage, $600,000 for her new startup, and I'd get whatever was left after fees and taxes. Just then, my phone buzzed. It was Robert Hayes from Hayes Premier Auctions. His son, Ethan, worked in my office. Robert said Ethan had called him from my company's emergency contact list, worried because the estate auction he'd conducted that afternoon for my warehouse listed Lily as the executor of my estate. The paperwork claimed I'd died of a heart attack last month. I was shocked. Robert had voided the sale immediately and contacted the county prosecutor's fraud division. He sent me copies of the forged death certificate, power of attorney, and property transfer paperwork, all signed by Lily as executor. When I returned to the dining room and told Lily the auction was voided, the room fell into an icy silence. Lily tried to brush it off as a clerical error, but I showed her the PDF of the death certificate. Mom dropped her champagne flute, and Dad stood up slowly, looking at Lily in disbelief. Lily tried to explain that the warehouse was being wasted and that she was going to surprise me with my share. But I was furious. I pointed out that she'd created a fake death certificate, filed false executor paperwork, and consigned my property under fraudulent pretenses. Robert had said these were felonies, and the prosecutor's office was investigating. I told them I'd cooperate fully with the investigation. The auction house would file a complaint, and the winning bidder would likely sue for their wasted costs. I also said I wanted my warehouse back and for the prosecutor to pursue charges. I showed them the property records on my phone, highlighting how I'd bought and renovated it over the years, and how it generated a monthly income of $18,000. My attorney advised me to file a police report, check my financial accounts, and get a restraining order against Lily. When I told Lily she couldn't contact me directly and that all communication would go through lawyers, Mom pleaded, saying she was my sister. But I reminded her that Lily had declared me dead to steal my property. The prosecutor's investigation moved fast. They traced the notary, a woman Lily met through a business event, who'd been paid $5,000 to create the fake death certificate. The county medical examiner's office filed additional charges for forging the signature of Dr. Emily Green. Lily's startup evaporated before it even began, as no bank would work with someone facing fraud charges. Mom called me a few times, but I didn't answer. Dad sent an email asking to work it out as a family, but I forwarded it to my attorney, who reiterated the restraining order. 6 months later, Lily took a plea agreement, facing 8 years with the possibility of parole in 5. The notary got 3 years. The civil suits bankrupted Lily's savings and forced her to sell her condo. My parents had to sell their house due to the mortgage and legal fees, moving to a smaller place in a cheaper neighborhood. I renovated the second floor of my warehouse into an office and hired more staff for my shipping company. The tenant expanded production, adding more jobs. Looking back, I realized that for years, Lily saw me as a resource to feel superior to and then to exploit. The family always favored her business acumen over my hard work in shipping. But I've built this warehouse on my own, without their input or approval. And now, it stands as a symbol of my independence and resilience. The story of my death was a lie, and I've come out stronger on the other side.